Question number 1 says it's a 30, 60, 90. Now, we talked in class and we said this has to be C here. C is the longest side of every single triangle. It's the hypotenuse. You guys learned last year the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's simple, ABC. Now, the one thing that we introduced on here, from 30 to 60. What does C have to be if A is 21? That's a fact you're going to have to memorize. Maddie, it's got to be 42. Now I'm going to desperately need somebody with a calculator because I don't have all this stuff memorized off the top of my head. I'm going to go A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I'll slide my page over so we can see that. And I go 21 squared, because A is always the shorter side, plus B squared equals 42 squared. Okay, I'm going to need somebody desperately that has a calculator because I have no idea what those are off the top of my head. 21 times 21. 441. Now I need somebody with 42 times 42. No doubt calculators are needed on this section. Maddie? Sure. Now, when I get to here, we're hoping that you know enough about algebra that you don't learn 3 formulas like you did last year. I want you to realize to get B squared by itself, I subtract out 441. I subtract out 441. I don't think I'm going to put a calculator into this one. I'm just going to roll with going like this. 6 minus 1, 4 minus 1, 3, 4, 6, 4, 2, 13, 23. Now, here's my other idea that I told you when we learned this particular idea. If the short side's 21, long side's 42, my answer better be greater than 22 and less than 42. That ain't even close. Square root this. To get rid of a squared, I square root. I need someone to raise their hand and tell me what's the square root of 1323. Emily. 36.4. Now let's go see if that makes sense for what? 21. Go draw it on here. 36.4. 42. Oh yeah, that looks fine. That'll work. Now, next question. 30 to a 60 is times by 2. That's the way I want you to remember that. A is times by 2 to get C. Number 8. I can see Nico is dying to give me some answers here. If I have a 45, 45, 90, what is the given fact between A and B? They're the same. Good save. Now, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Slide it over a smidgy. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 5.2 squared plus 5.2 squared equals C squared. You know how to calculator. Calculators are gigantically needed here. Going to get 27.04 plus 27.04 equals C squared. I get 54.08. You're allowed a calculator, so I know I'm going fast on that, but you're allowed a calculator. You put in 5.2 times 5.2, I get 27.04. Then I get 27.04. Add them up. What do I do when I get to this part? I have a C squared answer. That means C times C. I don't know what C has to begin with. Zach?
It's the square root of C squared and the square root of
54.08. Who's got the calculator handy and puts in 54.08, hits the square root key. It has to be greater than 5.2 and less than 10.4. Who's got my answer? Mike? 7.4. I'll take that. 7.4 millimeters squared. Everybody agree 7.4? Works?